Who would you hire to play you in a movie about your life? Hey there, welcome back. Kevin here. If you're new to this channel and you're new to this series, one of the series that I have is called Freestyle Fire Journal. And if you're new to Freestyle Fire Journal, it's for people who they hate journaling by themselves or they can't stay consistent. Basically, what I do every single day is I read a prompt from the One Question a Day journal, and you can pick up your copy at refugeehustle.com/journal, and you can pick up your copy there and follow me along. But basically, what I do is read out a prompt and just shoot straight off the dome. Like, these videos are pretty much unplanned going into it. I don't read the questions until I literally turn on this camera. So I thought it'd be a fun way to journal together. And when I say journal together, this is the fun part where you guys can actually comment below with your journal entries. You don't have to write a 10-page essay, but even writing like 2 or 3 sentences really helps as well, because how often do we get a chance to kind of sit back, relax, think about our thoughts to get those creative juices going. So a few of you guys have kind of gone into this and you like the series, so I'm gonna keep on doing it, guys. And also, before we begin, we gotta do a shameless plug. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and also hit the bell so you can stay tuned to this daily series of the Freestyle Fire Journal as well. All right, so today's August 5th. I'm doing a double episode today, and the question is, who would you hire to play you in a movie about your life? And first things first, let's be honest, I don't think anybody would want to really see my life, man. How I went from like lost kid in high school to like a nerdy ass kid in science club and math club to going to engineering school, hating it, then going to pharmacy school, then being a pharmacist, hating that, and then now I do digital marketing and high ticket sales. So I don't think that's a really interesting life. But suppose if someone for some reason want to see a documentary or like a movie about my life, it's kind of important to see what's out there already. And the two ones that come to mind that kind of stood out to me more recently, because I've watched them in the last, I would say, half year, mostly at Dan Peña's castle. But the first movie I remember watching was Ray Kroc and the story of McDonald's. I think it's called The Founder. I can't remember. But basically, it's about this sales guy, and he has this vision of, he stumbles upon McDonald's, right? The McDonald's brothers. And then he has this great vision, and he does whatever it takes to launch it bigger. And basically, he screwed over the brothers. But took this brand that wasn't even his and blew it up. And now everybody knows what McDonald's is, and it's responsible for, there's a lot of good things and bad things, but most people would say that McDonald's is responsible for a lot of our childhood memories, right? Like the Happy Meals and all that sort of stuff. They donate a lot of money to different charities around the world. And plus, they provided a lot of job opportunities as well. Now, if you want to argue like, oh man, they're horrible with animal cruelty and all that, that could be all valid. But we can't deny the fact that McDonald's left, or Ray Kroc left a huge footprint on this planet as well, or our culture especially, right? And so with that being said, when you watch that movie, it's kind of like almost awe-inspiring, because he was selling ice cream machines, barely making it, unhappy with his marriage, to a rags to riches story, which was really great. Now, the Steve Jobs movie, I can't remember. I know there's a few Steve Jobs movies, but from what I remember about that, it was also being very particular about his vision, about his how he wanted everything, and he'd be almost like an asshole just to get what he wanted, because he saw a bigger vision beyond himself. Where, we all know the story of Apple, where almost all of us, carry an iPhone. I don't have an iPhone. I have a Galaxy Samsung, right? But for most people that have an iPhone, it's iconic. That's the reason why people line outside of Apple, and it's changed the digital landscape forever, right? Essentially, all of us in the community, we all carry smartphones. And when the iPhone came out, it changed the landscape for even the Android phones too, because I'm not sure if you guys remember, but we had the candy bar phones and all that sort of stuff too back in the day as well. So it's really, it's just really interesting to see those type of movies. And you watch that movie, you see the cost of success, right? It came at the cost of his relationship with his daughter and stuff like that in the movie. And so if I were to do a movie about myself, I would want the level of feeling I would want to bring to people is kind of like a rags to riches type of story, right? Coming from like humble beginnings. And that's why like no one would want to see a movie at me right now, right? Because there's no really great ending to it, right? I still feel like I'm in the middle of it, where it's like all the action is happening and stuff. I would want to kind of inspire people with their own refugee hustle, their own path. That's all refugee hustle is about. It's supporting other individuals through their success through Kaizen, the philosophy of Kaizen. And if you don't know what Kaizen is, it's this long-term mastery. There's something about mastery which is really great that really attracts me, and that's why I stay in the game a lot of time. Like happens with jiu-jitsu, happens with digital marketing, happens with sales, a lot of these, and business as well. And there's a lot of different things that are very, very interesting about this philosophy, right? And if we can apply it to our health, wealth, and relationships, man, we can be so much happier. In terms of finding the right person to represent that too, one, they would have to be funny as fuck, right? Like that's so important, because if there's one thing I wish I did earlier, it's wishing that I did stand-up comedy or some sort of comedy training. It's not too late now. I can still probably do it after COVID's done, but I would love some sort of like comedy like class or something like that to spark those creative juices, right? And plus the comedy is like the medicine that makes everything go down easier, right? I look at pharmacy channels like RX Comedy. He makes people laugh, which makes people listen to him. There's also people like Dave Chappelle, where he brings up like huge racial issues as well, but he lubricates it with comedy. And notice the biggest YouTubers that I look up to, at least, all have some sort of comedic element to it, right? We just connect people through comedy. It's the best one, because it helps uplift us, it helps us feel like inspired, and it makes us feel good. And if I can do that, that's half the battle. So one, person gotta be funny. Second thing that's important is that they gotta relate to Asian American experience. I don't want no Dragon Ball bullshit where, you know, Goku, who is clearly an Asian character, is replaced by a white guy. No, I'm not trying to do that to our people. And it's not to say that like non-Asians can't understand, but it's a lot more difficult, like, because it's almost like, how do I put it? It's almost like taking sex advice from a nun, as Charles Poliquin would say, or kind of giving relationship advice when you've never been in a relationship, or even breakup advice when you've never even been through a breakup before. You know, it's just really, it's hard to take someone's advice when they haven't really gone through that experience. It's hard to empathize with them, or it's hard for them to sympathize as well, right? And so they would have to be able to go through the Asian experience and just understand, you know, they wouldn't have to be Chinese or anything like that, but as long as someone could really empathize and just get those points across, that'd be really great. So in terms of people I would actually cast, or people I would actually think about bringing on to the movie, it would probably be a YouTuber too. And the number one YouTuber I think of is someone like Timothy De La Ghetto, right? He's really funny. He's very empathetic. He has his X factor with people as well. And I want that to come off through the camera to really inspire people, because he's kind of lived kind of like the refugee hustle mentality and this art of Kaizen through comedy as well, through a non-traditional route. And that's what I love about his story. And he's just very relatable. Now, have I ever met Tim? I met Tim like maybe once at like the club or some shit like that, but I don't know him personally like that. But that's pretty much it. That's probably who I would hire on. But I want to throw the question back to you guys. Who would you hire to play you in a movie about your life? Is it Ron Jeremy? Is it Tekashi 6ix9ine? There's so many characters out these days, so would love to kind of hear your thoughts about that. And as always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell button to make sure you say subscribe to this channel as well for those daily episodes. That's pretty much it. Love you guys. Take care. Peace, my people. Bye.